I would guess that most of you have heard about the idea of vaccine passports, showing proof of vaccine before you can function in various levels of society, whether the arts, sports arenas, attend school, etc. We all have probably visited the pros and cons of the proposal also and have started having this conversation. In favor of the idea, of course, is public safety. Opposed is the idea of overreach of government intrusion and the very real possibility of information abuse. The worst prospect of the V passports is control. The government controlling where you can go, who you can be with, possibly where you can work, and maybe even where you will worship. At its best, we can all function safely in proximity to each other. At its worst, it's like Stalin's Soviet Union or Hitler requiring Jewish passports. Let me go through my thoughts on it. First, someone like me has a hard time trusting the government. Power and control over money corrupt people. We've seen too many examples of government overreach, greed, power plays, and abuse. So the premise itself, trust that the government has your well-being in mind, is a sandy foundation. And the Bible does warn us not to put too much trust in worldly powers. Second, this is certainly not the only time any government has asked for proof of health to travel. Anyone who has traveled to second or third world countries has had to get necessary shots to enter and exit safely and to carry their yellow health card with them. And the Bible does warn us to live with concern for our neighbors. At the same time, though, it's unknown whether the vaccines even prevent transmission of the virus, which is a very odd thing for a vaccine not to be capable of. A fact which makes many people suspicious of the vaccine, period, and how it came about. If it's the case that the vaccine doesn't stop transmission, then it's a self-defeating instrument giving a false sense of security and is virtually worthless, unless, of course, it's all about control. No wonder people are suspicious. Third, it could be a long time before enough people are vaccinated with enough effectiveness for enough duration of time to the extent that travel, shopping, and work is generally deemed to be safe. This sets up a system seemingly designed to create inequities and discrimination. And the Bible does warn us not to be people who discriminate unfairly. Fourth, it's beyond odd that in some locations a person may not need an ID to vote, but they may need an ID to get into a show or buy food. There are people who think something is strangely wrong about this picture. Fifth, we've been taught convincingly that media companies in particular cannot be trusted to act responsibly with our information. Data breaches, information harvesting, and illicit use of our information by these companies has broken our trust, possibly forever, in their information handling competency. Sixth, the system is prone to abuse. Since the cards don't have pictures, who's to say I can't borrow my friends to get into where I want to go? And what about those unable to get the vaccine for medical reasons? Sure, they may get a doctor's letter to say so, but aren't they just as dangerous in a crowd? All in all, taking all these points in stride, the case seems stronger against vaccine passports than the case for them. But I know the two sides of the argument are still being formed, so talk to me. Let's have a conversation.